And good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to WVRC 104.7 FM's coverage of Roane County High School Lady Raiders softball action. We welcome you on this Monday evening inside the Lady Raiders softball complex over on the Lick Fork side of the campus of Roane County High School for a single game outing featuring a pair of Little Canal Conference teams on opposite sides of the conference. Roane County and Williamstown getting set to square off for this single game. Roane County coming in with a nice 6-3 record overall. They average 11.1 runs per game. They give up just 5.6. They are coming off of, though, a tough doubleheader outing all the way up in Wheeling at Lindsley Academy, losing a doubleheader on the road 7-0, and then an odd game in which they had a lead 18-7. They lost that lead in the final couple of innings. 22-18 was the final in that one. So Roane County obviously looking for revenge to get back on track here after going 6-1 to start now at 6-3. Their opponent, though, Yellow Jackets of Williamstown High School, just 3-9 on the season, but they've got a couple of massive victories in the Little Canal Conference. To those credits, it's Gilmer County they defeated 6-3 back on March 23rd, and then most recently, pretty much the top of the conference, the top of the crop for many, many years in Ritchie County, the Yellow Jackets defeating the Lady Rebels 6-4 on the 30th of March. So an interesting matchup here today between these two opposite division opponents in the conference. Glad you could join us on WVRC 104.7 FM. For our entire broadcast crew, my name is Andrew Miller. Matt White is right beside me. Katie Nutter on the camera for us. Joe McDonald joining us once again on A&M Digital Technologies with graphics, instant replays, GIFs now, or GIFs, whatever you call them, and, of course, the scoreboard. And George Allen is our studio technician back at WVRC Control. Matt, again, just 2 days ago, a long trip for the Lady Raiders, and it did not turn out the way they wanted to. This is kind of an opportunity this week with a lot of games to rebound and get right back on track. They're going to have to do it against a very sneaky opponent, I think.
Yeah, you mentioned, look at the Williamstown's record right now, only 3-9 on the season. Some big wins against some tough opponents, but some tough losses to some really quality opponents. A couple losses to the likes of Fairmont Senior, Doddridge, St. Mary's, always quality programs. Ravenswood, always tough every year. Don't know a whole lot necessarily. Parkersburg South's always a tough opponent no matter the sport. So, you definitely don't want to just look at the record alone and say this is going to be easy. We could see enough of this during fielding and warm-ups for Williamstown. This is a pretty solid infield, some really strong arms and a quick reaction off of the ball. We'll just kind of see how this one goes. It appears to me just on paper that Williamstown maybe has struggled a little bit offensively to put up some big numbers. Really have only reached double figures in 2 games. One of those was to Wirt County, and the other in a loss to Parkersburg South. So, we'll just see if with Roane County, we always want to try to get some runs on the board early. It seems like the majority of the time we do a much better job when we have the lead. Throw out that anomaly Saturday whenever they, gave up that 18-7 lead late in the ball game. But, this is going to be I think a quality opponent and a nice tune-up to start the week here for Roane County to see if they can get back on track.
A lot of action this week for both Roane County's Lady Raiders and the softball or the baseball program with a game up top at Charleston Catholic here today. Let's take a look at the starting lineups for both teams. First off, for the Williamstown Yellow Jackets, head coach Ron Stanley. And here is the batting order. The center fielder batting first, David Johnson. Batting second, the shortstop Cameron Beck. Batting third, and in the pitcher circle, Lindsey Keller. Batting cleanup at first base, Grace Everly. Batting fifth, third baseman Jensen Hall. Batting sixth behind the plate, Maggie Siley. Batting seventh, left fielder Hallie Landis. Batting eighth, the second baseman Lexi Sivard. Batting ninth, the designated player Aslan McComas. She'll bat for Kirsten Kirby. In the field for Roane County, leading off and playing right field will be Piper Harlan. Batting second in center, Carly Greathouse. Batting third at short is Cadence Steele. Cleanup hitter now is Mahaley Nicholson. She will be the pitcher. Batting fifth, catcher Katie Young. Batting sixth, first baseman Lacey Mitchell. Michaela Boatwright will bat seventh and be at third. Batting eighth, playing left field will be Ferris Smelko. And batting ninth, designated player Lexi Burdett. She will hit in the order for the second baseman, Callie Williams. Kate is the coach. Anyways, those are your starting lineups as both coaches and captains meeting at home plate with the umpires. We'll take a break for our sponsors. Come back. We'll have the first pitch here for the Roane County versus Williamstown softball game at the Lady Raiders softball complex. We welcome you back inside the Lady Raiders softball complex, getting set for the opening pitch here, Roane County and Williamstown. Let's set up the defense for the Lady Raiders. Mahaley Nicholson, the sophomore, pitching here today. Senior Katie Young behind home plate. Junior Lacey Mitchell at first. Senior Callie Williams at second. Senior Cadence Steele at short. Senior Michaela Boatwright over at third. Freshman Ferris Melko out in left. Junior Carly Greathouse in center. And over in right field is the sophomore Piper Harlan. Roane County maroon jerseys, gray sleeves, gray pants with the single black stripe down the side for Williamstown. Maroon jerseys with yellow lettering. Jackets written across the front in script, trimmed out with a little bit of yellow. Black pants and yellow socks. Top of the first we go. Ava Johnson digging in first. And Nicholson, Rocks and Fires were underway here. Game scheduled to start at 5 o'clock, just 5 minutes past that time. 1-0 the count to Johnson. Ava Johnson, Cameron Beck, Lindsay Keller, hitters 1, 2, and 3.
We're used to a normal 5 o'clock start time. This one a little bit later, 5:35, first pitch. Boys set to play as well up on top of the hill. I believe it starts at 6 o'clock against Charleston Catholic. Track meet going on again. Lots of stuff here on the hill.
Absolutely full day here for Roane County High School. 3-0, the quick count here to Johnson. The first two were about numbers high fastballs. That one goes low and inside. Quickly 3-0 to Johnson, the center fielder. And a 4-pitch walk issued to the leadoff batter in the top of the first inning for the Yellow Jackets.
Those were 4 pretty decent pitches, though, not missing their mark by a whole lot. So if you just tweak a couple little things about your delivery, maybe like the release point, whether you're trying to go low, trying to go high, other than that, I'm not unhappy with that start.
Here's a bunt and run opportunity. Boatwright going to have to hustle it to first. In time. They're going to send the runner to third, though. What a play by Boatwright. That was a bang-bang at first play. And they will get Beck for the putout, but that will send Johnson all the way over to third as she was running on the pitch.
Yeah, no one covering the third base bag. Middle infielders both collapsed to the second base, which allowed the runner to advance to third. But what an arm there from Boatwright at third. We've seen that a few times this year. She's really got a cannon of an arm.
Again, playing way in on the left side of the infield. First pitch to the pitcher, Lindsey Keller, low and inside. Again, this Williamstown team, 4.5 runs per game is all they produce. But again, you look at that.
Some tough competition that they've played so far.
That schedule is a little bit tough. 1-0 offering off-speed pitch, ripped back into the cage. And the count evens at 1-1.
We'll see here Williamstown, if they want to try a little bit of small ball action.
Missing low and inside again with the fastball is Nicholson. She's tried that low and inside pitch, man. I think she's looking for the knees because that's a miserable pitch to try to hit.
Yeah, tough, especially if you can get a lot of movement where it works back from the middle over to that inside corner.
2-1 pitch, ripped towards third, taken by the shortstop. Steal across the diamond, not in time. As Keller able to beat the throw, and that will score the first run of the game as Johnson comes home on the RBI infield single by the pitcher.
Yeah, just got enough of that one to get past Boatwright there at third. It was going to be a tough play for Steele. It was way deep in that hole. Good job to get to the ball, though, make a play on it.
First baseman, cleanup hitter, Grace Everly to the batter's box. As the first pitch fired high, 1-0 the count. Here in the top of the first inning. Overcast skies, a little chilly. Just glad we can get a game in, though. There's been some rain in the forecasts. High heat on the next offering. Swung on and missed. Snap throw down to first, not in time as Keller able to slide back in safely. 1-1 to Everly.
Good job on that last one by Nicholson to attack the cleanup hitter with that high heat.
1-1 pitch ripped up the middle. That's going to get through just out of the reach of the glove of Steele diving it short. And a good piece of hitting by Everly. Good effort by Steele. Back-to-back singles, though, here for Williamstown.
It looked like Steele might be able to make a play on it, but that ball was hit so hard. No chance to get to that one.
Runners aboard first and second with one out. A 1-0 lead for Williamstown. Up to the plate, the third baseman, Jensen Hall. Nicholson rocks and fires, check swing, and that one called. Strike on the edge.
Good job, as always, behind the plate by Katie Young. A little freeze frame action on that outside corner.
Nicholson working quickly into the windup. 0-1 pitch off speed, and that one had the batter guessing. 0-2.
Yeah, looked like it was going to be a little bit of a fastball. Took a little bit off of that one.
0-2 pitch off speed inside. Looked on by Hall. 1-2 the count. Catcher Siley on deck. Again, we're in the top of the first with one out and a 1-0 lead for the Yellow Jackets. And they have runners at first and second. Here comes the 1-2. This one chopped towards the pitcher. That's into the glove of Nicholson, who had to knock it down, and she'll underhand it to the first baseman, Mitchell. For the second out, the runners will advance to second and third.
Well, but at least you get that second out, so now all you have to do is concentrate on the hitter that's up here at the plate. You don't have to do anything crazy. If you can make a play on it, just make the smart play, throw it to first, and get this out.
The catcher, Maggie Siley, hitter number 6 in the Yellow Jacket order. First offering from Nicholson. That one sails high. 1-0.
Yeah, we've seen a couple of times this year Roane County get into some early jams in the first inning and be able to work their way out of it, see if they can continue to work that magic.
1-0 offering, chopped towards third. That one gloved, picked up. It's going to be a tough throw for Boatwright. Not in time. 1 run will score. The throw gets away, and the second run will come through. That was, again, tremendous play defensively. Boatwright backhanded that one. It went out of the glove into foul territory. By the time she got to it, not in time at first.
Yeah, throw was a little bit off as well. The runner was able to get there. The ball kind of actually bounced off of the back of Siley.
Got a pinch runner for the catcher, Siley. I didn't see the number. We'll try to catch that here in a second. It's a double-digit number. I know they've only got 2 right now listed as subs. And to the plate is Landis, or Hallie Landis.
That's number 2.
Okay. Did I say double-digit number?
Yeah, you sure did.
Yeah, I'm just talking about how bad I see and hear. Is that a product of age?
Could be.
1-0 the count to Landis. There's one called on the edge, 1-1. Outside corner fastball.
That's Gabrielle Kibbe over there, the pinch runner.
Lady Raiders down 3-0 top of the first. 2 outs, runner on first. And the 1-1 inside corner pitch. That one swung on and missed.
It's inside up around the numbers. Tough pitch to get around and get a piece of the bat on that one.
There's the windup and the 1-2 pitch upstairs. 2-2.
Yeah, you can see he tried to take a little bit off of that one. A little bit of like a change-up type pitch.
The 2-2 offering. Called strike 3 at the knees, and Roane County out of it after the top of the first. Damage done. 3 crossing for the Yellow Jackets. After a half inning of play, it's 3-0 Williamstown. Successful top of the first inning for the visitors in Williamstown. The Lady Yellow Jackets plating 3 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. And after a half inning here from the Lady Raiders softball complex, Williamstown leads Roane County 3-0. Of course, Roane County yet to come to the plate here in the bottom of the first inning. But Roane County, they got down in that first game against Lindsley 3-0 right off the bat. They ended up giving up 2 runs apiece late in the ball game before they eventually fell in game 1 7-0. They got the bats working in the second game. Let's hope they can continue that in this one. Piper Harlan stepping to the plate first, followed by Carly Greathouse, Caden Steele. Harlan having a heck of a sophomore campaign, a .531 hitter, 15 RBIs. Get this, 7 triples, pair of doubles, and 14 runs scored. They'll face off against Lindsay Keller. And the first pitch for Keller, an inside corner, called strike 1.
Yeah, that's a nice opening pitch. You don't want to go chasing anything. If you're Harlan, you want to try to wait, be patient at the plate, and find one that you can historically drive in the opposite field.
Patience paid off on that second offering upstairs at the eyes. 1-1. 1-1 pitch, little movement on that inside corner fastball as Harlan swings and misses. 1-2.
Almost looked like that one started inside and worked its way back over the plate a little bit.
1-2 offering, high heat, check swing, and a 2-2 count here to the leadoff batter in the bottom of the first. Piper Harlan, Roane County trailing 3-0.
Good job to lay off of that one. I thought she was going to go chasing.
2-2 pitch, swing and a miss, or swing and a foul ball, sorry. I'm sure everybody heard that. Into the cage. Good piece of hitting by Harlan just to stay alive for another offering. Keller looks to be working very quickly from the pitcher circle. 2-2 offering, check swing, low and inside. Good eye to make the count full at 3-2.
It was a tough pitch to lay off of. That one just was sinking down around below the knees on the inside corner.
3-2 payoff pitch, fouled into the cage yet again. Harlan battles.
Yep, got to just keep staying alive here early in the ball game. Make the pitchers work. Give yourself plenty of time to see the pitches. Try to find one you like.
Another 3-2 delivery, chopped towards third, fielded cleanly. Across the diamond, a low throw, and Everly pulls it off of the dirt for out number one. Hall fielded it cleanly at third. Just a little low on the delivery.
Yeah, it made things a little bit more difficult for a first baseman than need be, but excellent play over there by Everly to scoop that one off the ground.
Nevertheless, a good at-bat there for Harlan. Fought off a couple 3-2 pitches. Carly Greathouse to the plate. Fakes that bunt, and the pitch goes high, 1-0. Greathouse 423 on the season. 10 runs scored, 5 stolen bases. 1-0 offering. That one missing low and inside. Keller toes the inside of the rubber. And a called strike on the inside corner, painting the inside edge.
One of the things I've noticed is Greathouse's timing seems to be so much better when she shows bunt at first, pulls back, and then hits the ball.
No show that time, just a slap foul. Back behind us, out of play. The count now even at 2-2. 3-0, bottom of the first for Williamstown on top of your Lady Raiders.
And maybe with a harder throwing pitcher, that's not as much of an issue.
2-2 delivery, missing low. We mentioned that last year. Carly Greathouse rarely, if ever, Matt, swings at a bad pitch. She just has great eyeballs there at the plate. Full count to the second straight batter for Keller. And the payoff pitch. That one swung on a miss, dropped by the catcher, but down to first goes Siley for the confirmation, and out number 2. Good hustle down the line by Greathouse, but an even better throw by Maggie Siley. Bring up the shortstop Cadence Steele, 480 on the season, 10 RBIs, 2 home runs. That's 2 on the team that have those, and 17 runs scored to lead this team. First pitch, swung on and ripped foul into the cage.
Yeah, Steele was really gotten so much better over the last couple of years of being able to drive the ball. Never really thought of her much as a power hitter, but has really developed here over the last couple of years a pretty good power swing.
0-1 pitch, one hops the catcher. You think about that, midway through last year, she started swinging a heavy bat. She and Lacey Mitchell both really started to see and drive the ball. 1-1 pitch inside, 2-1. Bottom first, 3-0 Williamstown. 2 outs and no one on here for the Lady Raiders, top 3 hitters. 2-1 pitch, ripped down the line at third, foul ball. And the count evens at 2-2. We were talking about the Yellow Jacket defense and warm-ups. Looked like they could do work, and so far they have in the infield.
Yeah, all of them Showed really strong arms.
A 2-2 pitch off speed, pop foul out of play. Steele's got a beat on it. See if she can find one and line it out into fair territory. Cleanup hitter Mahaley Nicholson stands in the on-deck circle. Keller into the windup. 2-2 pitch. Fought off again. And Steele battling just as Harlan did to begin the inning.
It really has been a nice few at-bats here early on. Just unfortunate weren't able to get anything out into the outfield or, get anything clean. But, you got to give credit there to the Williamstown defense. They've been playing pretty well here these first couple of hitters.
2-2 the count holds. New softball in play. 3-0 Williamstown with a 2-up, 2-down start. The 2-2 pitch down the middle, ripped right at the second baseman. Lexi Seivert into the glove, and it's a 3-up, 3-down. Bottom of the first for the Lady Raiders. After one complete, Williamstown on top, 3-0. We welcome you back inside the Lady Raiders softball complex. After one complete inning, Williamstown, the visitor, on top of your host, Lady Raiders, 3-0. 3 runs on 3 hits in the top of the first for the Yellow Jackets. Roane County goes 3-up, 3-down, although not without a battle. 2 straight full count counts, I guess. I'll get that eventually, for Harlan and Greathouse. Harlan ended up grounding out. Greathouse ended up swinging and missing, and then Caden Steele, after a battle 2-2, ended up lining out to second base. So no damage for the Lady Raiders. 8-9-1 coming to the plate here in the top of the second for Williamstown. Lexi Seivert, who just finished off that bottom half defensively. Asla McComas, designated player, and back to the top of the order for Ava Johnson. Nicholson ready to go to work. This one's chopped off the plate into foul territory. 0-1 the counts to Seivert.
Yeah, she really had a healthy cut on that one. Was all smiles after just spiking that one off of the plate.
0-1 pitch. This one gets away from Nicholson into the backstop. 1-1 count. Nicholson already has worked all games this year, so she has got a lot of innings under her belt here in the first 9 appearances. Next pitch, one hops Young behind the plate, 2-1.
I saw a ton of pitches as well as a freshman last year. Really was the leading pitcher on the team.
Beautiful offering on the 2-1 pitch inside corner, called strike 2. Count evens at 2-2. Top second, 3-0 Williamstown. Single game here this evening. Here's a 2-2. That's ripped up the middle. Moving over and making the backhand grab is Callie Williams at second.
Good read on that one. Looked like it was going to be a rip shot up the middle. Excellent play there from Williams. Steele got a big jump on that one as well. I thought she might have a play on it, but Excellent stop.
I get the joy of watching that on instant replay. Thank you, Joe McDonald from A&M Digital Technologies. Those of you watching us on Facebook Live, Aslan McComas, designated player. First pitch outside. She's batting for the right fielder, Kirsten Kirby. 1-0 count to the number 9 hitter in the Yellow Jacket order. That one catching outside corner.
That's an excellent location on that pitch. It's one of those, if you're best you can do is probably just throw the bat out there and look at it.
1-1 count. That one missing outside. You know what they always say about real estate and fastballs, Matt? Location, location, location. 2-1 the counts. Got Matt on one. Wasn't ready for that one. Normally it's me.
Well, that last one was pretty far out of town on the location.
That one was out of state. Here comes the 2-1 pitch just upstairs. 3-1 on deck. The top of the order, and Ava Johnson. We'll see if Nicholson can fight back. 3-1, and she cannot. That one sails outside. Second walk issued of the game for the sophomore Mahaley Nicholson. The first walk was to the person coming to the plate, the 4-pitch walk to Ava Johnson in the first inning. Johnson ended up scoring on the RBI single by Keller. 3-0. Williamstown in the top of the second. 1 out and a runner on first. First pitch of the second at bat. That one gets Johnson golfing. It is Masters week.
Trying to work her way up and get a pro card, apparently, on that last swing.
They had
working on the short game.
Hey, Wednesday is when they do the par 3 contest there at the Masters. That one missing low and inside. Same location. Johnson was not tempted on that swing. 1-1 the count.
Oh, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on you again.
Next pitch sails high, 2-1. Meat of the order coming up. Hitters 2, 3, 4 in the order.
Yeah, you were hoping for a little battle here. Get yourself out of this inning. Try to get the bats back up to the plate. Try to get some offense working. Excellent pitch.
Absolutely. Down Main Street for strike 2. 2-2 the count. Nicholson rocks and fires. This one's chopped towards third, out of play, as Boatwright fields it in foul territory. 2-2 the count holds. Lady Raiders busy this week. They've got this one tonight, a doubleheader tomorrow at Webster, a doubleheader Wednesday here versus Charleston Catholic, Thursday at Clay, a single game, and then a doubleheader on the road at Racine Southern on Saturday. Lots and lots of games. Next pitch gets away from the catcher Young on the one hopper. That will send McComas into scoring position, and a full count now to Johnson.
And all those games this week, weather permitting, of course, a little bit of rain in the forecast for the next couple of days. So hopefully Lady Raiders be able to get a couple of those games in, and it might be to your benefit to get a break.
3-2 pitch right down the middle. And that one froze Johnson. I don't think she was expecting, Matt, right down the pipe for that 3-2 pitch. Second strikeout of the game. And that's a big one. That's number 2 here in the inning. Strikeout number 2 of the game, out number 2 of the inning. Cameron Beck sacrificed the runners advancing in the first on the 5-3 putout on that great play by Michaela Boatwright. First pitch here, the second, sails high, 1-0 the count. 3-0 Williamstown, top second. Runner at second with 2 outs. The 1-0 pitch. Low and inside, 2-0. Nicholson's got the velocity, just looking to paint the corner she wants. No painting there. Knee-high fastball called, strike 1. On deck is Keller. She had the RBI single to start the scoring in the last inning. Here comes the 2-1. That one fouled out of play. Creekside. And did it make it to the creek?
I think it did. I think it made it to some agua.
2-2 the count. 2 outs. Nicholson trying to grind out of the inning. And the pitch, off speed, sails outside. We're back to full count once again for the second straight batter.
You'd really hate to lose this one. A good chance to get out of this inning.
The windup, the delivery, the payoff pitch, chopped towards first. Quickly off of the rubber goes Nicholson, underhanded to the first baseman for out number 3. A runner aboard, no damage in the top half of the second. 3-0 Williamstown, Roane County to the plate after this. Moving into the bottom half of the second inning, Roane County down 3-0. Good inning defensively, though, in the top half for Mahaley Nicholson and the defense, as it was a really nice play on a line drive up the middle by Callie Williams, fielding it in the air, followed by a walk to the number 9 hitter, then a strikeout on a full count pitch to the leadoff batter, Ava Johnson, followed by Mahaley Nicholson fielding the ground out, the 1-3. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left on. To the bottom of the inning we go. 4, 5, 6 coming up for the Lady Raiders, and Nicholson steps in first. Swipes at the first offering from Lindsay Keller on the inside corner. No contact, 0-1. Nicholson, boy, has she got the season going here. 741 hitter. She is hard to get out. 4 RBIs, 7 doubles, and 7 runs scored. As Keller goes off speed, Nicholson swings heavy and misses. 0-2 quickly. Nicholson followed by Young and then Mitchell. Some big bats here in the bottom of the second. 0-2 pitch off speed, and that one chopped right back to Keller. Moves off the rubber for just a couple of steps and grabs the out. A lot of changeup in that speed on that pitch, and Nicholson had to wait quite a while. But that one was going to drop into the zone. Katie Young to the plate, the senior catcher, 522 hitter, 12 RBIs, leads this team. A home run, 4 doubles, and 12 runs scored, and she's going to take one right off the toe. First pitch, hit batter, and the Lady Raiders, for the first time, have a runner aboard. And as usual, we get a pinch runner for Katie Young. That will be Elizabeth Greathouse as per our usual scenario. Lacey Mitchell, and I almost did it again. I don't know why. 364, 6 RBIs, a pair of home runs, and 9 runs scored for Lacey. And the first pitch from Keller missing upstairs. I don't know why the urge is there, Matt, to continue to call her younger sister's name. I just can't figure it out.
Well, I can't either. We're just one of those things that we deal with every week with you, Drew.
It's the old age. This one blasted foul area over at the right side. That will go out of play. As Mitchell was looking for an opposite field shot, got underneath it a little bit. 1-1 the count. And Mitchell swinging the bat well. This goes all the way back to midway through last year. She has really felt comfortable at the plate. 1-1 pitch, inside corner. Swing and a miss.
Yeah, we saw that the second half of the season last year. I mean, she really went on a tear and was easily the hottest hitter on this team going right into the end of postseason action.
1-2 pitch, turns on that
Ooh.
one, rips it down the line at third, just missing foul. Had a good turn on it, and it was just over the glove of the third baseman, Hall. That could have been extra bases. 1-2, the count holds.
Yeah, it just missed by about 1.5 feet outside the chalk.
Another 1-2 pitch, inside corner. That's going to drop in fair territory. Beautiful piece of hitting, and that was another tough inside pitch as Mitchell is aboard first. Runners now at first and second with one out. Roane County trailing 3-0.
Yeah, finally getting a threat here in this bottom of the second. Like you said, that was a good piece of hitting. There was a tough inside pitch. Got just enough of it to drive it into shallow left field.
First base hit given up here by Keller today. Michaela Boatwright, 409 hitter, 3 RBIs. And she starts off on an inside pitch. 1-0 the count.
That one was inside, stayed upstairs a little bit. Nice job to lay off that one.
Keller ready quickly. This one way inside. 2-0 the count.
Another nice stab there from behind the plate by Siley. We've seen the arm strength of that young lady a couple of times already in this game.
2-0 pitch. This one swung on right to the pitcher, picked up and dropped, and now we've got a runner off the base paths. And they are going to double up Roane County, and that's going to end the inning. Wow. That is 3 outs as Roane County is thrown out and then doubled off on the base paths. So the small threat produces nothing here in the bottom of the second after 2 complete innings. It's Williamstown 3, Roane County 0. We welcome you back inside the Lady Raiders softball complex after 2 complete innings. It is Williamstown, the visitor, 3, Roane County 0. Lady Raiders had a small amount of threat brewing there in the bottom of the second as they had a hit batter in Young. Her pinch runner moved to second on Lacey Mitchell's bloop single. So you had runners at first and second with 1 out, and then an interesting double off as Boatwright hits it right back to the pitcher who dropped it and throws it over to first, and that put Mitchell in a bind on the base paths. Wasn't sure if it was caught or not, and she was caught between first and second. So no damage, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on. Top of third, we got 3-4-5 Keller to the plate first. RBI single, her first plate appearance back in inning number 1. And she'll lace this one out of play. 1-1 the count. So Keller followed by Everly and Jensen Hall, 3-4-5 in the Yellow Jacket order.
We need a Pat Lance down here with the window breaking sounds on foul balls.
He's up there probably right now doing that at Leo Hines Field. The boys in action, hosting Charleston Catholic up on the hill. They've got games Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday as well. So if the weather holds off, we'll have a lot of baseball and softball this week. Here comes the 2-1. Frame job for Katie Young on the outside corner, called strike 2.
She's done such a good job of that for 4 years now, just giving the ump a little extra look at that one.
2-2 pitch, slow inside corner pitch, and that was beautiful as Keller was out in front of it for the third strikeout of the day.
Good job is to keep the hitter guessing with the change of location, change of speed. That time just got him swinging.
That will bring up Everly, the cleanup hitter, the first baseman. Singled and scored in the first inning. Popped up in the infield this time. Nicholson over towards the foul line, and she and Everly almost collided. As that's the third putout, by the way, by the pitcher Nicholson in the field.
I think you can give some credit there to Everly. She pulled up a little bit, saw Nicholson coming. I'm not sure if that would have been a runner interference kind of thing, getting in the way as you're going from home to first. But just a smart play there just to avoid any kind of potential disaster.
Jensen Hall to the plate. First pitch, fastball low. Hall had a putout in the field to Nicholson. A little sacrifice, advancing runners in the first inning. 3-0 here in the top of the third. Williamstown got those three in that first inning. Beautiful pitch inside corner, called strike one. Again, it looked as if to me, Matt, that Nicholson was struggling a bit with control in that first inning. And since then, she has looked very, very good. The last couple of innings, she's hitting all the spots.
Yeah, she's really settled in.
Off speed, that one just sails up and away. 2-1 to Hall. Top of the third, 2 outs, nobody on, and Williamstown leading by 3-0. Two-one offering down the middle, ripped just out of the reach of Williams. They could possibly, I was going to say they could possibly have gotten Hall at first with the arm strength of Harlan, but that one rolled up the sleeve of Harlan. She was unable to corral it initially. So Hall aboard first with the single.
Yeah, it was really hard hit shot into right. Like you said, I mean, that would be a tough play to make. We've seen a couple of those last year that became very close calls, almost getting thrown out from right field. And I think Harlan could have made that play had she been able to field that one cleanly.
Yeah, if that's hit any softer, there's no chance. She hit it hard enough that there was actually a play to be made. Siley to the plate. She had the big 2 RBI single back in the first. Swings at the first offering, high into the sky. Left center field, coming in, coming on for out number 3 is the center fielder, Carly Greathouse. Just a base runner aboard, no damage in the top of the third. Lady Raiders going to try to crack through here in the bottom of the third, trailing 3-0. Into the bottom of the third we go. Roane County trailing by 3-0 your score. But it looks like the defense and, of course, Nicholson in the last 2 innings has really found the game that they wanted. Nicholson is hitting her spots with ease right now, and that's led to a couple of pretty easy innings defensively for Roane County. A strikeout to begin the inning, a pop out to the pitcher Nicholson, followed by a single by Hall opposite field, and then the soft fly to center field to finish things off. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on for Williamstown. To the bottom of the third we go, and to the bottom of the Lady Raider order we go. Hitters 8, 9, and then 1. Ferris Smelko, Lexi Burdetts, and Piper Harlan. As the Lady Raiders going to try to find the key that unlocks Keller in the defense. Smelko, .421 hitter, 11 runs, 5 stolen bases. And Keller even so quick to work that nobody was ready. I was looking down. The umpire was staring over at Coach Salvucci. That was a strike if it would have counted.
It looked like Keller and Smelko were both ready to go. Smelko was up there in the box.
And Smelko was ready to go. Swings and misses at that first offering. Lone left-handed batter in the order for Roane County. Just a freshman. 0-1 pitch, squaring to bunt. That one right back to Keller, unfortunately, as she will rifle it across to Everly. It was a soft bunt, Matt, unfortunately. Needed to go away from that pitcher circle.
Well, Smelko slipped just a little bit on the first, try to take off out of the batter's box there as well. Slowed her down just a little bit, but yeah, the location of that one, you got to imagine Keller's probably going to make that play regardless.
Interesting statistic. Both pitchers, 3 putouts in the field. Lexi Burdett
helping out their own cause.
Looking on at the first offering, fastball down Main Street. Burdett in limited duty, a .333 hitter, a double with 4 runs scored. Batting for Callie Williams in the lineup, and that's going to clip her right on the meat of the quad. Or not the quad, what is that, Matt? You work on that field. What is that thing back there?
The calf.
The calf, yeah, I can't remember. It's been too long. I need to get in the weight room. So a second hit batter for Roane County. Katie Young got hit last inning. Let's see if Roane County can do something with it here. Top of the order, Harlan. First pitch, missing outside as Harlan squared the bunt and backed off. Harlan worked the count full, battled in the first inning before grounding out to Hall at third.
Good thing if you got the threat of some speed there at the bag, or at the first base bag. Harlan has shown bunt the first couple of pitches here. We'll see if she's going to pull back and just maybe try to take a rip at one.
2-0 the counts. I would lay off of him too till she threw a strike in. There it was, down the middle. So Harlan now ready to go to work. Bottom of the third, Roane County trailing by 3. 1 out and a runner on first. That one missing upstairs. Harlan ahead in the count, 3-1. She's got 15 RBIs on the season. That's good for number 1 on the team. 3-1 pitch in the dirt, and after a hit batter, Keller now walks a batter. Runners on first and second for the second straight inning.
Certainly a nice place for your Roane County hitters to be with your 2, 3, 4 hitters coming up. Everybody, we say this all the time, top to bottom, this team can really produce offensively.
Carly Greathouse stepping to the plate. She went full count, fought off a couple pitches before finally falling by strikeout, by swing. Sorry, I'm just beating Matt around here. 1-0 the counts. Next pitch ripped opposite field, and it just misses. Boy, we have said that a few times here today with Roane County batters. Down the lines at third and first base. 1-1.
Yeah, you got to imagine with the speed from Harlan, that could have brought 2 runs in had that one stayed in fair territory, but just on the outside.
1-1 the counts. Again, Roane County in the last inning had runners at first and second with 1 out. Were unable to produce. And again, you got 2, followed by 3, followed by possibly 4. You got to maybe take advantage of at least a run here. 1-1 pitch. Greathouse swings, foul, tips it into the glove of Siley. 1-2. Caden Steele on deck. Keller rocks and fires. This one popped up. Roane County fans' side, and that one will hit the grass behind the stands.
Carly had her little brother Cooper ducking for cover over there in the grass.
Count holds at 1-2. Another pitch, low and inside, chopped towards third. That one just gobbled up. It was dropped, but your number 1 job, Matt, at third at the hot corner is to knock it down, and that was what Hall did. She stepped on third and got the lead runner, Burdett.
Yeah, it's a good thing she didn't field that one cleanly. That could have been 2 outs in the inning. A nice play, though, to get the lead runner. Roane County first and second now with 2 outs.
Caden Steele swings at the first pitch. This is very shallow in center field. That's going to drop in. They're going to send Harlan around. Here comes the throw, not in time, and Roane County will get one back. And you mentioned, Matt, the speed of Piper Harlan. I thought that's just going to advance runners. Instead, she comes around to score.
Well, that's a smart play because you recognize there's 2 outs. Any kind of fly ball hit like that, you just got to run your tail off. You don't have to wait to see if it's going to be caught. You can just take off from the get-go, and she did just that.
So Steele with 11 RBIs on the season now. Roane County breaks through finally 3-1 here in the bottom of the third, and you've still got damage to do here with hitters 4, followed by 5 and 6. Nicholson, Young, Mitchell, they've all got big bats.
And we say Roane County loves the 2-out rally. We've seen it many a times over the last few years.
Nicholson grounded back to Keller in the second. Here's the 1-0. Boy, swing heavy. And just missing contact there. 1-1. Nicholson, 741 hitter on the season. That is a tough out. 1-1 pitch, high and tight. 2-1 to Keller, or to Nicholson from Keller.
Roane County got a run back, down 3-1 now, bottom third.
2 outs on the board. Runners still at first and second. Here's the pitch inside. Swing and a miss. Boy, Nicholson is just off of that match. He can see it well. Just got to make contact.
Yes, he was just a little bit underneath of that one. Probably a good thing that she didn't make contact. It probably would have just been a bit of a pop-up. But, yeah, if she can really find the laces.
Inside pitch on the 2-2 offering as Nicholson slides backwards. 3-2 the count. Young on deck, would love to get a chance with runners. The payoff pitch fouled into the cage. Just like in the first inning, Roane County hitters are battling at the plate with 3-2 with 2-2 counts. Stays full. Another payoff pitch. Oh, and she goes inside, and Nicholson swings and misses yet again. Roane County gets one back, though, in the bottom of the third. They trail moving into the fourth. 3-1. Williamstown to the plate after this. We welcome you back to the Lady Raiders softball complex. 3 in the books. It's Roane County trailing Williamstown 3-1. The Lady Raiders got one back in the bottom of the third. A run on a hit, no errors, and 2 left on base. So a 2-run lead now for the visiting Yellow Jackets. They got 3 runs in the first. Since then, Matt, it's been a lot of Mahaley Nicholson, even when not striking batters out. She's got 3 putouts in the field.
Yeah, defense has really settled down these last couple of innings. See if the offense can, like you said, they've had a tough time with Keller working the inside part of the plate, not seeing the ball exactly where we need it to be. So you just got to be a little, we've done a really good job of being patient at the plate. We're just not able to locate the pitches that we need and be able to turn on them quick enough to be able to drive that ball because they're really shading to the right field side.
Bottom of the order for the Yellow Jackets, 7-8-9. Landis looks on at a fastball. About as close to perfect as you could get on that one. 0-1 count. Landis, one of the 3 strikeout victims here today, back in the first. Next pitch upstairs, 1-1. I was looking back here of the 9 outs, 6 of them by way of Mahaley Nicholson, 3 strikeouts and 3 putouts defensively.
Yeah, like I said, just helping your own cause.
But other than that, you think about the
big play down at the third by Boatwright was a nice one. Excellent play at second by Callie Williams. So, and then the other one was a fly out to center. So.
And don't say that fly out to center is not a tough play too. We always talked about straight in. Those are the toughest.
Yeah, they look like they should be a routine play, but sometimes those are the toughest to make.
A one hopper too young with a 1-2 count, 2-2. Landis followed by Seivert and McComas here to begin the top of the fourth. 2-2 offering right down the middle, and that one freezes the batter Landis. 4 strikeouts now in the game for Mahaley Nicholson.
That was a nice one. It had some movement to it working toward that outside corner. Like you said, it kind of just freezes the batter. You're stuck in the middle of nowhere.
Lexi Seivert, she was the one that lined out right up the middle to Callie Williams back in that second inning on the great play. Starts off swinging out of the shoes for strike 1. Seivert, the second baseman.
We saw her do that second inning. She karate chopped one right off the bag, or off the plate.
Next pitch just missing outside. As you saw Young turn the glove at the last second to try to get that call. 1-1 the counts. Again, Roane County gave up 3 in the first, and they have been very good defensively. Hopefully they can just keep this up and maybe chip away at this lead. Here's a check swing. Wouldn't have mattered. Called. Strike on the inside corner. Yeah, if you can get one back here, one back there, and keep playing good defense, maybe Roane County gets back into this at the end. As if they're out of it. They're down 2.
Yeah, I mean, we're not, like I said, we're not swinging the bat terrible. I mean, we're just not able to turn around on them quick enough to be able to drive it.
1-2 pitch, ripped towards short, fielded cleanly across the diamond, and steal into Mitchell's glove for out number 2.
Yeah, nice job over there at short by Steele. Good job moving to her right, fielding that ball cleanly, make a nice strong throw, get the put out. 2 outs on the board now. Top 4, Roane County trailing 3-1.
Number 9 hitter, designated player, Aslan McComas. She walked on 5 pitches in the second inning, was stranded. As Nicholson starts her off upstairs. 1-0 the count for Roane County. Coming up in the next inning, Katie Young, Lacey Mitchell, Michaela Boatwright. 5, 6, and 7 due up in the bottom of the fourth. On the 1-0 pitch, outside, 2-0. Nicholson now doing some landscaping out there in front of the rubber.
Yeah, doing a little bit of maintenance work, trying to, get her footing down correctly. Lost the last couple of pitches.
And she'll lose this one as well. Something about McComas that Mahaley Nicholson doesn't like. She started her out with 3 balls before 1 strike in the second. Right now, a 3-0 count to the number 9 hitter, Ava Johnson, on deck. See if Nicholson can fight back. She cannot. A 4-pitch walk issued to the number 9 hitter. And that is walk number 3 of the evening for Mahaley Nicholson.
Yeah, that last pitch was much better looking than the first 3. Stayed over the plate, just down in the zone. They're down out of the zone a little bit.
Back to the top of the order we go. Ava Johnson, 0 for 1, sorry. First pitch, that one's ripped opposite field. That's into the gap. Heading around second is McComas to third. They're going to send McComas in. The throw coming late, and McComas is going to beat it at home. And an RBI triple coming here for Ava Johnson. So you see, you go back to the top of the order, Matt, and it burns you pretty badly here with the RBI.
Yeah, it was just an excellent piece of hitting going opposite field. Shades of Piper Harlan there just with the drive and then the speed. Harlan got to that ball pretty quickly and got it back in. Just wasn't quite quick enough relay to get the runner coming home.
So after Roane County trimmed one off the deficit in the last half inning, it's back to 3, 4-1. Cameron Beck at the plate. She'll swing at the first pitch. That one's ripped into left field, and that will score Johnson from third. So you get the first 2 outs of the inning, Matt, and you lose that number 9 hitter, and that always is tough when the top of the order looms large, and they have produced back-to-back.
That's usually the scenarios that we found ourselves in, being able to produce offensively in that situation. And that was, again, just another rip shot right field. Mitchell, no chance to make that play over at first.
And the pitcher, Keller, back to the plate. Now 5-1. Pitch outside. Keller, the RBI single, and a run scored in the first. Struck out in the third.
Yeah, tough break. You lose the hitter. You come down. You're 5-1 now. You just keep battling. We have plenty of offensive firepower on this team to be able to make up a 4-run deficit.
And Roane County starting to swing and find those pitches a little bit better. Again, just the one tough outing, the 4-ball walk issued. Other than that, Mahaley's still absolutely cruising with her spots. 2-0 delivery, jams the batter. Fouls right side, 2-1 the count. Runner on first, still 2 outs. In the top of the fourth, the lead is out to 4 for the Yellow Jackets, 5-1. The 2-1 delivery down the middle, right towards short, fielded cleanly, and across the diamond yet again goes Steele to Mitchell. And as we started the inning, we finish it as well. A pair across, though, as Williamstown adds to their lead after 3.5 innings, 5-1. Roane County to the plate after this. Moving into the bottom of inning number 4, Roane County trails by 4 now. As they entered the fourth, trailing by 2, they got that 1 run back in the bottom of the third. After getting the first 2 outs of the inning, Roane County ends up giving 2 runs on 2 base hits, including that RBI triple by Ava Johnson. And so the Lady Raiders still got a lot of at-bats, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th possibly. And they've got Katie Young coming to the plate. She was hit by a pitch in her first plate appearance back in the second. 522 hitter, second on the team with 12 RBIs. As Keller ready to go to work here in the bottom of the fourth. Delivers one upstairs for the first pitch of the inning. 1-0 the count.
Yeah, we always say as long as Roane County has an out left on the board, there's always a chance to score some runs.
This one low and inside, 2-0 the count. Young followed by Mitchell and then Michaela Boatwright to lead it off here in the bottom of the fourth. Roane County's got all double headers after this week. 2-0 pitch, low and away. Tomorrow they got the long trip to Webster Springs to face Webster County High School. Following that, right back here, Charleston Catholic for 2. I misspoke. Clay County's 1 game on Thursday. And then Racine Southern double on Saturday. Here's the 3-0 pitch. Oh, and that is going to be an out. And therein lies the issue. Do you give the green light or not? Even though that would have been a strike, Matt, that was a tough pitch to hit. Young, though, she's got such quick bat speed. She can turn on those and rip them. She just got inside on the glove or on the bat that time.
Yeah, again, that's just the movement of the pitches from Keller. It's riding in on you, just
Mitchell
like that one.
Steps up, puts it in between short and third. The backhanded play, not in time. Woo, buddy. Cameron Beck made a great backhanded stab behind the third baseman Hall, and it looked to us a bit like that might have been in time. Let's look at the replay here real quick. Oh, bang, bang play. I get it. Very close.
That was a close one. I think Roane County may have gotten the benefit of the doubt on that.
We'll take whatever we can get right now, Matt. We're down by 4.
Yeah, at this point, we need all the base runners that we can get, and just to get the confidence back at the plate.
So Mitchell now 2 for 2 with a pair of singles on the day. A 1-out runner aboard. Second pitch to Boatwright missing. The first one low and inside. Quickly 2-0. Lady Raiders down 5-1. They gave up 3 runs in the first and then a pair here in the top of the fourth. They got one in the bottom of the third. And another one missing outside. 3-0 the count to Boatwright.
Yeah, we've had several of those where we've had really good at-bats. We just haven't been able to get something positive going out into the field.
Next pitch missing outside. And that is just the second walk issued by Keller. However, she has plunked a couple of batters. Runners at first and second, Matt, for the third straight inning. Last inning, Roane County finally got one. Let's see if they can get more. Here's Fair Smelko at the plate. This one gets away from the catcher, Siley, and that's going to advance runners. That's a big play, Matt. Takes away the double play opportunity and the force out.
I mean, you were thinking that might have been a sacrifice bunt attempt as well anyway, so, that is absolutely best case scenario.
Now it's definitely a sacrifice bunt opportunity. Smelko laid one down softly, unfortunately, right back to Keller in the third inning. 1-1 the count as Smelko went after that bunt.
And the idea here is you'll sacrifice the play over at first to try to get them to make that throw so you can maybe get a runner home.
Smelko, this one fouled off on the bunt attempt. Yeah, you force the defense's hand here.
You give up the run, take the out. You always run the risk. This is a very hard-throwing infield for Williamstown, so always a potential for a double play.
2-strike pitch, and that one squared the bunt. That tells you what Smelko's going to do. 2-2 the count. Defense moving quickly, obviously. Jensen Hall over there at third playing in. 2-2 pitch. Bunt attempt backed off. That one missing away again. Good eye by the freshman Smelko. 3-2 the count now. Chance possibly load these bases up. 1 out, bottom of the fourth, 5-1. Yellow Jackets. Roane County with runners at second and third. The payoff pitch, swing and a miss. Boy, Smelko fooled me on that one, Matt.
Yeah, we saw back-to-back pitches with 2 strikes on the board with the attempt to bunt. That time getting the green light for a full swing and just not able to catch up to that one from Keller.
So Lexi Burdett, she was one of the ones hit by a pitch back in the third, made it all the way to third. We're being forced out there. First pitch missing inside. And again, you would love to get to the top of the order here. You've already got runners at second and third. See if Burdett can keep this thing alive. Called, strike at the numbers. 1-1 the counts. Burdett does have a double here this year. She scored 4 runs in limited duty.
She's seen a lot of time on the base paths, though, as well. She's been a courtesy runner for Nicholson a couple of times.
Healthy cut on the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, though. And the count now 1-2 is Keller in the defense trying to work out of this jam in the bottom of the fourth. 5-1 Yellow Jackets. Roane County runners at scoring position at second and third. The pitch, that went upstairs. 2-2. Piper Harlan on deck, would love to get a chance. With ducks on the pond, she is the leading RBI producer on this Roane County team. 2-2 pitch high and away, and it's full for the second straight batter.
Yeah, like you said, you'd love to get the runner on here and give Harlan an opportunity with bases loaded. You get a little bit of sprinkles coming down.
And that will happen as another pitch out and away, and that was a good at-bat. Burdette went down on the count 1-2, Matt, and she fought back to take the walk. The bases are now loaded for Piper Harlan. Again, a .531 hitter, 15 RBIs, leads this team. She is 0 for 1, but she's had 2 very good plate appearances. Grounded out in the first after a full count in a battle. Walked on 5 pitches in the third and scored the lone run. First pitch swung on and ripped foul out of play.
And one thing right here the base runners have to understand, run on any contact. It doesn't matter, 2 outs. If that ball's up in the air, you run as hard as you possibly can until the ump says, all right, go back to the bench, go back to the dugout.
Or until you see Kate Williams throwing up the stop sign. Comes the 0-1 pitch in the dirt. Boo, beautiful stop behind the plate. Siley. That saves a run from coming in from third. 1-1 the count to Harlan.
Point is, if anything's in the air, you don't have to tag up. You don't have to wait for it to see if it's caught.
1-1 pitch paints the outside corner. Beautiful pitch that time by Keller.
That was an excellent one. You could almost see it almost looked like Harlan was looking for something inside on that one. It got froze with the outside corner.
Plate protection time here with 1-2 pitch popped up and out of play over the Roane County fans. Harlan had a good beat on that one. See if she can just find fair territory here today. Had one opportunity and grounded out to the third baseman Hall in that first inning. Here comes the pitch, chopped towards the pitcher, and that one going to sent home, and that's going to do it. Man, a great opportunity for Roane County put in play, but the defense and Keller just continuing to stifle the Roane County offense. After 4 complete, 5-1, Williamstown on top. We welcome you back to the Lady Raiders softball complex. 4 in the books, and Roane County stifled offensively, trailing 5-1. The Lady Raiders with bases loaded in the bottom of the 4th inning. No damage done after the ground out from the pitcher forcing out the runner Mitchell coming home from third. Roane County had the bases loaded before that. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 3 batters left. To the top of the 5th we go. 4, 5, 6 coming up for the Yellow Jackets. Grace Everly, Jensen Hall, and Maggie Siley for the Yellow Jackets. We'll see if Roane County can continue battling here, Matt. They've had good outings defensively other than that first inning when they gave up 3. They still ended up giving up the 2 in that 4th inning, but it just wasn't like the first inning. It just seemed like they just got lucky on one.
Yeah, and that's all it takes, and that's been the difference in this ball game. Roane County's not been able to capitalize on the amount of runners that we've left on base at the end of an inning.
I shouldn't have said lucky. They got opportunistic.
That's a better way to put it.
Yeah, they're not lucky. They got a base hit.
They capitalized on a couple of really good swings. You know, they got runners in scoring position. They were able to drive the ball. Roane County's just not been able to do that so far.
This one ripped between short and third, and that one will get through for the leadoff single for Grace Everly, her second base hit of the ball game. Pair of singles now and a run scored. And Jensen Hall will come to the plate. She's 1 for 2 with a sacrifice and a single. And we're going to start seeing a healthy rotation of softballs. As Matt mentioned, the rain is coming down a little bit. It's been off and on here in this ball game.
There wasn't a whole lot in the forecast, but apparently we're getting that 4%.
First pitch, missing low, gets away, and that will advance Everly to scoring position. And again, that's what these two pitchers are going to deal with. You saw Keller, Matt, in the last half inning asking for fresh, dry softball, as is Nicholson here. Now she'll go to the rosin bag to try to keep the grips on it. 1-0 the count to Hall. We're into the top of the fifth inning, 5-1 Yellow Jackets. And this one gets away as well, and that's going to advance Everly over to third. And Nicholson having some serious trouble, Matt, with the wetness here. She already, as you see, it's kind of her MO. She just rolls that ball right on her hip a lot. She just rolls it, tries to keep it dry, rolls it until she finds what she wants. And she's going to go get a couple new ones. Nope, just one. Brand new softball.
Well, it's not like tennis. You can't just leave an extra one in your back pocket or anything. You got to leave that up to the ump.
2-0 the count to Hall here in the top of the fifth. Nobody out, and Everly over at third. Dry ball just missing low. 3-0 the count. Nicholson.
We're really taking her time on this one.
Really working that around the jersey. 3-0 pitch. That one finds the mark at the knees. Just that extra 3 rolls. How about that? 3-1 the count to Hall. On deck is Siley.
Maybe try to get a little scuff off of the belt buckle. Shades of 1980s MLB.
Next pitch missing outside. The 5-pitch walk issued. Runners at first and third. Takes me back to the movie Major League with the old pitcher. He's got the old Vaseline ball. Put a little jalapeno up in the nose, get the nose running. You put snot on the ball? Siley steps in. I'm enjoying myself now. First pitch fouled off. They were sending Hall, and she will come back with the 0-1 count. People have got to remember the movie Major League.
I'm just hoping that since we have the benefit of the aluminum bat, we don't end up with like a George Brett situation with the getting accused of corking the bat.
Comes out trying to fight the umpire. That's what we West Virginians do. George Brett, a West Virginian. 0-1 pitch. This one's chopped towards third. Fielded by Boatwright across to first quickly. And home, not in time. But it's just so difficult in softball, Matt. As soon as that throw, even with Boatwright's arm strength, as soon as it took off, Everly able to just beat the throw home. Nice play again. Boatwright's been solid, Matt, here today.
Yeah, most of the games we've seen so far this year, she's been more than up to the task at third base. Really has great arm strength.
So the first out recorded for Roane County. They trail those 6-1. Landis coming to the plate. Runner at second is Hall. First pitch outside to Landis. Landis a pair of strikeouts here today. 2 of the 4 issued by Nicholson. Down the middle, right back to Nicholson, off the foot, and calmly over to first, and look at that. Wow. 2 big plays there, Matt. Nicholson with the hockey kick save, followed by the throw. It was a little fast. It was a little out of the range. Lacey Mitchell with the snow cone grab. It pulled her off the bag, and look at her tag out the runner.
Good job. Good grip strength there to keep a hold of that ball, because if you're trying to tag the runner and that thing's kind of snow coned like that, it'd be real easy to have it knocked away. Good job to complete that play. It was a tough one there at first for Mitchell.
Lexi Siverd, first pitch, ripped foul over towards the creek. It'll go down that as a 1-3 putout, but that will not tell the story of just how difficult that was for both Nicholson and for Mitchell. 0-1 the count to Siverd. She's 0 for 2. A pair of putouts defensively for Roane County.
Yeah, you want to try to get this one here, limit the damage, go in to the bottom of the fifth, and maybe try to get the bats working again.
Boy, Nicholson goes inside, and Siverd, trying to protect herself, swings and misses. 0-2 the counts. Runner at third is Hall. The 0-2 pitch, soft speed. This one's popped up in the infield, and that will be steal for out number 3. One across, no more damage in the top of the fifth. To the bottom we go. Roane County needs 5 in the next few if they are to come back. We'll see if they can do it after this. As we move into the bottom of inning number 5, Roane County sees the deficit expand by another run. Top of the fifth inning, it was 1 run on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. I think Roane County, Matt, you mentioned, did a good job of limiting the damage, but they are finding themselves falling farther and farther behind a defense that doesn't want to give up runs themselves. Carly Greathouse, Caden Steele, Mahaley Nicholson, 2, 3, 4 of the Roane County order. In the bottom of the fifth, Roane County with 3 more innings available at the plate. Greathouse rips the first one against the cage, 0-1. Carly struck out after a full count battle in the first, reached on a fielder's choice in the third, and was stranded at second.
Like I said, we've had some opportunities with runners on the bags. Just need to do a better job of capitalizing on those opportunities whenever they arise.
Yeah, Roane County had runners at first and second with 1 out in both the second and third innings. Then they had the bases loaded in the last inning. And in all 3 innings combined, just 1 run has crossed. 0-2 on a called strike to Greathouse. Keller goes inside. This one's blooped into shallow right field. Moving in and out for the second of the glove of Kirby. She was able to adjust and pull it in for out number 1. That was interesting.
Yeah, again, that was one of those that you assume is going to be a routine play, but sometimes those are the more difficult. You get caught with your glove position. Do you go overhand or do you switch to underhand? Fortunate for Kirby, able to hang on to that one.
Caden Steele 1 for 2 with the RBI here today. The RBI single scoring Harlan in the third inning. That represents Roane County's run. 1-0 the count. She battled, fought off a couple 2-2 count pitches in the first before popping out to second base. Keller works low and inside on the next offering. 2-0. Lady Raiders trailing 6-1 here in the bottom of the fifth. Lights shining now as we get later into the evening. Two-0 offering down the middle, popped foul, out of play. Count now 2-1 to Steele. 480 hitter, now 11 RBIs. She and Mitchell both blasted 2 home runs early in the season here. 2-1 pitch, looking for the outside corner, unable to frame it was Siley. And the count now 3-1. Down 5 runs, Matt. You got to be a little more choosy at the plate here for Roane County. 3-1 pitch. No worries about that one. That one way inside on the 3-1 pitch. Roane County with another base runner aboard. They've had base runners at first and second at least in the second, third, and fourth, and now fifth innings. Nicholson, 0 for 2, due for a base hit here. She's a .741 hitter on the season. Just statistically speaking, she's going to get a hit here. First pitch, high and away.
And I think she's been seeing the ball very well. Just a couple of opportunities there was a little bit over top of it. And you're expecting one to be, a little bit lower. You get, a little bit underneath of it. So, give out a lot of credit to Keller. She's really been battling here in this ball game. These Roane County hitters have really been very patient at the plate.
And she got Nicholson on a 3-2 pitch back in the third. 2-0 the count. This one low and inside, and now Keller struggling with some control. 5-pitch walk to steal, and now a 3-0 count to Nicholson. .30 pitch, green light swing. That would have been strike one anyway, so hey, if you're feeling it, go for it.
Yeah, that's okay. That was a hittable pitch. Certainly not upset with trying to attack that one. Just got to be careful. You don't want to get one riding in on the inside of you. 3-1
pitch right down Main Street. Nicholson fouls it off. And Keller has battled back after a 3-0 count to make it full. At 3-2, Katie Young on deck for the Lady Raiders. They trail by 5 here in the bottom of the fifth. Runner on first with 1 out. 6-1 is the lead for the Yellow Jackets. Nicholson will back out as Keller looking for a new softball.
Yeah, both teams having to deal with these chilly temperatures, a little bit of precipitation in the air. 3-2 count now. Protect the plate.
Here comes the payoff pitch inside, and back-to-back walks issued now by Keller as Steele advances to second, and Roane County for the 4th straight inning, at least runners on first and second. Matt, they have left 6 runners aboard in the previous 3 innings. Going to get Elizabeth Greathouse in to run for Nicholson, and you got Katie Young, second best RBI producer on the team here. She is at the plate. She was hit by a pitch in the second, and Matt took a swipe at a 3-0 pitch and grounded out to third in the 4th inning.
Yeah, you certainly would like to see Young be able to get something here that she can drive into the outfield. See if Roane County can take advantage.
Before that happens, going to have a meeting at the pitcher's circle. And this is only pitcher, and this is going to maybe be it. Okay, so a very interesting strategy, Matt, for Coach Ron Stanley. I think even though Keller has had some issues with control, I think she and the defense of Williamstown have been doing a fantastic job of eliminating or limiting any damage. And you bring her out of the ball game here in the bottom of the 5th inning, and let's see how Roane County reacts to it. So the new pitcher coming in to throw was the second baseman, Lexi Seiverd. And we'll just have to see where everyone else goes. Everybody's kind of standing around at the moment.
Well, it looks like left fielder, is that Haley Landis, is going to come in and play second. She trotted in all the way from the outfield, so we'll wait and see if Keller.
It's either going to be Hallbeck or
Keller has taken her infield mask off, so I'm going to assume that she's going to be the one going out to left.
I like the way you assume, Matt. We know the rule with that, though.
This is true.
So a new pitcher here is Lexi Seiverd, the second baseman, and Roane County is going to have to adjust, Matt, to a pretty significant difference in speed, just looking at those warm-up pitches. And this could cause problems for Roane County. They've got to immediately remind themselves to scoot up a bit in the batter's box.
Scoot up a little bit, maybe choke up on that bat just a little.
First pitch, a lot of movement, though, there for Seiverd. So There's speed and then there's junk pitches. So.
Well, you can tell, I mean, I think she's going to bank on trying to hit the locations more than, obviously, more than trying to overpower her.
Next offering popped up. Out of play, 1-1 to Katie Young. One out here, bottom of the fifth. Steele at second, walked, followed by Greathouse, who is pinch running for the pitcher Nicholson, who also walked. Roane County needs 5 back here in the next 3 at-bats. Pitch high, 2-1 the count. If you're Roane County, you're banking on Seiverd, kind of struggling to begin, but she may not. 2-1 pitch, upstairs, 3-1.
Well, you can kind of see that in her delivery, it's very kind of an over-exaggerated spin on the ball. So I think you're trying to bank on that ball coming off of the bat in a crazy fashion.
It does, and it's going to leave very crazy fashion just underneath it, though, as that one will be taken by Johnson in center field. When it hit off the bat for a second, I thought that could be good, and then you just saw it die in the middle of center field.
Yeah, I think that's what you're banking on, is trying to get some flyouts with a ton of movement to that pitch. It may not be coming in very fast, but it is spinning quickly.
So Lacey Mitchell to the plate. Obviously, she's got a big bat. She's 2 for 2 today. Couple of singles, one in the infield. She'll swing at the first pitch, rips that one up the gut. They're going to send the runner around. Now they're also going to send Greathouse to third. She's got wheels. And I quit. Lacey Mitchell. Takes away all the excitement I just had right there. Lacey Mitchell is
okay.
3 for 3. I'm getting it back, don't worry. 3 for 3 with now an RBI. And Roane County gets 1 back here in the 5th. The question is, Matt, can they get more than 1?
Well, you certainly would like to take advantage, get some momentum going here in this bottom of the 5th inning. You got 1 back, only down by 4. We love the 2-out rallies. You got runners on the corners. So it's probably safe to assume you're going to get a steal here to try to get both runners into scoring position.
First pitch, Boatwright, missing low. The only question is, with 2 outs and Siley behind the plate, she might be able to toss somebody out.
She's got a strong arm, but with the lower velocity of a pitch, I think you have a great opportunity.
This one drops into the strike zone, 1-1 to Boatwright. Kayla 0 for 1, a ground out back to the pitcher in the second. It's a 4-pitch walk in the 4th. 6-2, Roane County back to within 4. We're in the bottom of the 5th. Pitch ripped up the gut again, and Boatwright delivers. So Boatwright and Mitchell back-to-back RBI singles, and this is how you manufacture a good inning, Matt. You just take what you can get. Roane County advancing a runner and an RBI single, and it makes it now 6-3. This is where we started after the first.
Yeah, nice piece of hitting, back-to-back plays there. Good job by Johnson out in center to get to that one quickly.
As Farrah Smelko digs in, fouls one off. 0-1 the count. She had a great at-bat there back in the 4th, a full count. Tried to lay down a couple of bunts with a runner in scoring position, just ended up swinging and missing at the last one. Smelko followed by Burdette here, but still 2 outs in the inning. Off speed, drops right over the plate, 0-2.
Thought that one was a little bit up in the zone. Going to drop down at the backside of the plate.
Plate protection time here, and Smelko does a great job of that, fouls it out of play. This is those situations where you're going to have to expand your own hitting zone.
Yeah, if nothing else, you've got to make contact with anything that might be even questionable outside or up and in.
Pitch this one, nub towards the second baseman, and it's going to be a hit runner, so runner interference, and that's how the inning will end. Roane County gets 2 back, though, so they feel a little bit better about themselves after 5 complete. It is Williamstown, though, 6-3 as we enter the 6th inning. And we welcome you back to the Lady Raiders softball complex. We have completed 5 innings officially, and it is a little more interesting than it was coming into the 5th inning as Roane County trailed 6-1. They now trail 6-3 as they got a pair back in the bottom of the 5th. 2 runs on 2 hits. Pair of RBI singles for Mitchell and Boatwright. No errors. And 2 left on base. 6-3 Roane County. They got 2 more at-bats, possibly. And you look at this Williamstown team. You gave up the 3 runs in the first, and then you blanked them in the second and third. But they got 2 in the 4th, and then they got that 1 in the 5th. You want to go back to the 2nd and 3rd innings here for the next 2. You want to blank them and try to get back.
Yeah, it's one of those games when you give up 6, you would, not always say. I think our defense has played pretty well for the most part. Williamstown's just been, like I said, very opportunistic with their the timeliness of their hits that they've gotten with runners in scoring position.
Yeah, not bad fielding. Great fielding, in fact, including Nicholson. She's been very good throughout the day. First inning, I'd say, was the only inning she'd say she really struggled with control. Other than that, it's been good, solid hitting at the right time, as Matt said. McComas looks on at the first pitch, corner fastball, 0-1. It's 9-1-2 here in the top of the 6th for Williamstown. That one missing outside, and, of course, Nicholson has not liked McComas. She's delivered 2 of her 4 walks to this batter. The last one was a 4-pitch walk in the 4th that ended up with 2 outs, plating McComas and another run. Next pitch fouled off, 1-2. I think situationally you certainly would like to get 1 out here and have the top of the order up with nobody on.
Again, you don't want to give any more opportunities to Williamstown. You want to try to shut the door here, give yourself another chance at the plate. 3 runs is certainly not insurmountable by any means.
Here comes the 1-2 pitch down Main Street, called strike 3. Nicholson having no trouble that time with McComas after missing almost every pitch, the first 2. 1 out here in the top of the 6th. Dava Johnson delivered that big RBI triple back in the 4th. She is 1 for 2 with a pair of runs scored herself. Nicholson looking for the outside corner, just missing.
Another nice freeze frame attempt there on the outside corner from Young behind the plate.
1-0 delivery. This one hops Young behind the plate. I'm quite disappointed, Matt. I haven't had any complaints about this home plate umpire. He has been very, very spot on today on both sides. He just calls it exactly the same all the way around, and he has, in my mind, not missed one. And that's a rarity for me to say that.
I wouldn't say, I mean, the consistency has been there. It's not varied from one team to the other, which is always a good thing.
2-1 pitch, low and inside.
Because I'll always give you if he wants to give a little bit of a wide strike zone, I'm totally okay with that as long as it's consistent with both teams. And, I'm with you on that one. I have no complaints so far.
Let it be known, on this 4th of April, 2022, Matt White and I agree on that. 3-0 the count. And that one going to miss upstairs as Johnson for the second time. A 4-pitch walk issued. She scored the first time. That happened back in the first inning. 1 out, 1 on, top 6. Roane County down by 3, 6-3. Cameron Beck coming to the plate. She grounded out in the first inning to Boatwright on that strong throw. But she did sacrifice the 2 runners ahead that ended up scoring in the first after Johnson came home. Grounded back to Nicholson in the second, and then an RBI single in the 4th. So she is 1 for 3 with an RBI and a sacrifice. First pitch ripped back to Nicholson, fields it on the backhand, tremendous play. And that is put out number 4 in the infield for her. Sorry, number 5, I should say. I missed one of the last.
I think that was 5 the last inning. She had that that goalie kick save on that tremendous
How could I have
play.
already forgotten about that?
That was a tremendous play because I think her put out was overshadowed by the play that Lacey Mitchell made it first.
So runner in scoring position for the pitcher. Keller, great stab behind the plate on the low and inside pitch that time as Young saves. Johnson advancing to third with 2 outs, and that's important.
Yeah, those little things add up in a ball game, and that was an excellent stab behind the plate.
Runner at second with 2 outs. Here in the top of the 6th, you want to blank Williamstown if you possibly can in this and the 7th. If you do that, you'll need to combine for at least 3 runs in the bottom 6th, bottom 7th to tie the game. 2-0 the counts. Keller 1 for 3 with an RBI single and a run scored back in the first. 2-0 pitch missing away. And honestly, Matt, situationally, first base is open. That would lead to a possible force out at any base here. I don't mind losing Keller necessarily, except for the fact that Everly's 2 for 3. 3-0 pitch. Nicholson won't let go yet. 3-1.
Yeah, like you said, not the end of the world if you give this one up. You definitely don't want to leave anything way out over the plate.
3-1 offering and a called strike on the outside corner. Take it. 3-2 the count.
Yeah, that's the only time I think as soon as we said that we think the ump hasn't lost anything, I think he might have on that one, but we'll certainly take that.
Here we go. The 3-2 payoff pitch, swing, and a chopper down to third. Boatwright across the diamond and pulled out of the dirt by Mitchell. What a defensive play. Boatwright has been tremendous today as they shut the door on Williamstown in the 6th. Runner in scoring position, no damage to the bottom of the 6th we go. Roane County down 6-3. Moving into the bottom of inning number 6. We're getting later in the innings and later in the evening. Roane County doing their job defensively, though, in the top of the 6th inning with a runner aboard second. Roane County shutting the door on the offense for Williamstown. They did it in the 2nd and 3rd innings, and I said they needed to go back to that after giving up 2 in the 4th, 1 in the 5th. They did it. Another nice play, by the way, by Michaela Boatwright. Her 3rd putout, and none of them have been easy in this game. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 aboard.
Well, she's made those putouts look pretty easy. A couple of nice plays over there at first for Lacey Mitchell as well defensively, taking a couple of them out of the dirt.
So Seiverd ready to go for her 2nd inning of work. And the first pitch trying to frame it was Siley, just missing. Lexi Burdett. And what you need, Matt, here is base runners. Burdett has been aboard 2 times, hit by a pitch in the 3rd, and then walked on a full count in the 4th. Next pitch, that one catches the outside corner, 1-1.
That one had a lot of drop to it. Started up around the numbers and ended down around the knees as it crossed the plate.
Roane County trailing 6-3. Inside corner pitch, fouled off. 1-2 now. Top of the order coming up to the plate here after this. Piper Harlan, Carly Greathouse, the next 2 guaranteed. You'd love to see a nice big inning for Roane County. Haven't had one of those here tonight.
The opportunities have been there, just haven't been able to capitalize.
1-2 offering hits the dirt, 2-2 now.
And a lot of that's just the credit to the Williamstown defense has been really good in this ball game. Pitching was stellar in those first 5 innings from Keller.
Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Burdette pops it up in the infield. Moving in is the pitcher, Seivert. She'll make the grab for out number 1.
Again, that's the problem with the slower velocity and ton of movement pitcher. It's hard to weight back on that one. You always talk about dipping that back shoulder a little bit. Just causes you to pop that thing straight up in the air and not be able to get enough power underneath of it.
Piper Harlan to the plate. Lays off the first pitch. Again, a battle in the first. Grounded out to third finally. Walked on 5 pitches and scored the first run in the third. Reached on a fielder's choice in the 4th inning. 1-0 the count. Bottom 6. 1 out, nobody on for the Lady Raiders as Seivert drops one right over the plate there. 1-1. And Harlan, the leading RBI producer as a leadoff hitter. That means the bottom of the order has also produced by getting on. 1-1 pitch, and that one outside. Again, I'm telling you, Siley and Young both are very crafty at framing these pitches.
Yeah, they're trying to make things difficult on the umpire, and so far he's not really bid on too many of those.
2-1 pitch, rips opposite field, and that is going to drop in for the single. So you get the runner aboard, and that's what you have to have here if you're down 3 trying to come back. Base runners.
Yeah, it's the name of the game. You can't put them across the plate if they don't get on the bag to start with. So 1 out here, bottom of the 6th, 6-3, Roane County trailing. Looking for a rally here late in the ball game.
That was a first hit by Harlan tonight. Greathouse looking for her first base hit as well. She's 0 for 3. Struck out in the first, reached on a fielder's choice in the third, and then popped out to right field in the 5th. 1-0 the count to Greathouse. Squares the bunt, backs off, and swings heavy at that one. 1-1. It's the first time she has seen Seivert.
Just changes your timing up a little bit whenever you such a drastic speed difference.
Boy, that one dropped out of the sky. That thing was almost above my head and then dropped right over the plates. 1-2. That's nasty because that's hard to wait on and hit. The 1-2 offering. This one popped up over in the second base area, and a smart base running play as standing on the bag was Harlan. Unfortunately, the put out to Landis makes it 2 outs. The good thing is Caden Steele at the plate. She's already got 1 RBI in this game. RBI single back in the 3rd, walked and scored in the 5th. As Seivert drops one a little high. 1-0 the counts. Again, we've often said if Roane County has an out to their credit, they've got a chance. And again, you got speed at first with Harlan. Boy, I tell you, Steele tried, waited as long as she could, and was on top of that one. 1-1. Whatever this pitch is, Matt, it is nasty. Just like a big drop ball out of the sky. I don't know what they're called. Next pitch chopped towards the mound, and that's going to be an easy put out. And Roane County gets nothing in the bottom of the 6th. Williamstown's been good defensively. They lead at 6-3. We move into the last inning and see if Roane County can do it in the final inning after this. We welcome you back to the Lady Raiders softball complex. After 6 complete innings, the lead for Williamstown is 3. 6-3 is your score. Roane County gave up 3 in the top of the first. They were blanked in the first and second innings, but they also were able to blank Williamstown in the second and third innings. Roane County got the 1 back in the third to cut it to 2. That's as close as they have been here since trailing 3-0 in the first, as they gave up 2 more in the fourth, 1 more in the fifth. They trailed 6-1. In the bottom of the fifth, they got 2 back. Roane County had a runner on first with 1 out, but whatever pitch Seibert's throwing, it is causing some problems with Roane County. They had a pop out to second and then a small ground out to the pitcher to end the threat in the bottom of the 6th. So we need a blank here defensively, and we need 3 in the bottom of the 7th to continue. 4 would win it if that happens. Hitter number 4, Grace Everly, coming to the plate, 2 for 3 with a pair of singles and a pair of runs scored. Swings at the first offering. That one is Mitchell's. Diving straight forward and pulling it off of the dirt is Lacey Mitchell. What a play.
Oh, just a quick reaction. Just sacrificing the body, laying out to make that catch. Excellent play there. We've been talking boat right up at third, but Mitchell, she's trying to make herself a case for Willard C Defensive Player of the Game as well.
Very impressive, very impressive. Jensen Hall to the plate, swings and misses at the first offering. Sacrificed runners advancing in the first inning on a 1-3 putout. Singled and was stranded in the third. Walked and was stranded at third in the fifth. Next pitch popped out of play. Quickly the count moves 0-2 in favor of Nicholson. For Roane County in the bottom of the 7th, you got Nicholson, Young, and Mitchell, the first 3 hitters coming to the plate. (0-2) offering, but you look at those, of those 3 hitters, Mats, only Mitchell has seen Seibert. So the first 2 are going to have to adjust. 1-2 the counts. Let me not get ahead of myself. You got to get out of this half of the inning. Inside corner, off-speed pitch, and strikeout number 6 of the day for Mahaley Nicholson.
Yeah, it's a good way to battle back. And, you know, like I said, you're running out of outs here in this game, but Roane County really would love to shut the door on Williamstown and give yourself another chance going into the bottom of the 7th with only a 3-run deficit.
Catcher Maggie Siley steps in, and that first pitch wild. 1-0. Siley, 3 RBIs here today. She had the 2 RBI single in the first, had a sacrifice RBI in the 5th. So she has produced 3 of the 6 Williamstown's run here. Did I get that right? Williamstown runs. I had to get it right. OCD caught me. Ooh, just missing on the inside corner there is Nicholson. 2-0 the count. Base is empty here in the top of the 7th with 2 outs. Roane County, again, they need to blank Williamstown here. Pitch ripped into the gap in left center field. Greathouse can't get to it. It'll get to the fence line. They're going to send Siley around first. She'll head into second with a stand-up 2-out double. And Roane County not out of the inning just yet. Solid piece of hitting on that pitch by Siley. And a pinch runner coming in.
It's Kibbe. Gabby Kibbe coming in to run for Williamstown.
And that will bring up Hallie Landis, who is now the second baseman. Struck out the first 2 times and then grounded back to Nicholson on that tremendous 1-3 putout. First pitch missing outside. 1-0. Roane County down by 3 in the 7th inning. You got a runner in scoring position out at second for Williamstown. Next pitch, foul tipped. Count moves to 1-1. Really can't afford to give up that run out at second base here with 2 outs. You want to get out of this inning, give Nicholson, Young, Mitchell a chance to get things going in the bottom of the 7th.
We know Roane County's offense has enough firepower. But the way this game has been going, you certainly don't want to have to come back from any more.
Low and inside on the 1-1 pitch. 2-1 to Landis. Yeah, the defenses for both teams, Matt, I was looking when you mentioned that. Neither team has had an error. That's how good they've played. Both sides making it difficult. The 2-1 pitch down the middle, popped up, first base side. That's going to fly out of play, though. 2-2 the count now to Landis with 2 outs, a runner at second, and a 6-3 Williamstown lead here in the top of the 7th inning. See if Nicholson has something nasty here.
So what do you think, attack or pull the string?
Well, we're getting ready to see. Here comes the 2-2 pitch, off speed, chopped down the line at third. Got to wait for that to go foul and pick it up. Wow. For a second there, I wasn't sure that one was going to go foul.
Oh, it had a lot of English on it. Tough play. Smart play down the line again from Boatwright to let that one go foul. Get the touch on it before Williamstown can do any more damage. 2 outs. You really want to get this one.
2-2 with 2 outs in the top of the 7th. 6-3 Williamstown. Here comes the 2-2 pitch, off speed. She didn't throw the speed. She throws it off speed, and that is strikeout number 7, biggest one of the game for Mahaley Nicholson. They blank Williamstown in the top of the 7th, so here we go. You need 3 to extend, 4 will win it for Roane County in the bottom of the 7th. Here we go, bottom of the 7th inning. Roane County needs 3 runs to extend. 4 runs could win it in a walk-off fashion in the bottom of the 7th inning. And you've got Mahaley Nicholson, Katie Young, Lacey Mitchell at the plate. First pitch missing to Nicholson. And again, this first time she's seeing Seivert in that awkward pitch. Missing on both opportunities to begin. 2-0. Nicholson 0 for 2 officially. A walk and a run scored in the 5th, but she is struck out and grounded out other than that. 2-0 offering. That one finds the inside corner. The question is, can Roane County's batters find a hole in this defense? There has not been many. Great defense from both sides. 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. 2-2.
So again, just the bottom just falls completely out of that pitch. It starts out up around chest level. And it's falling all the way down to the knees right as it crosses the plate.
And watch out for this moon ball here on a 2-2 count. There it comes. That one poked into shallow infield area, and that one Beck underhands for out number 1. Just it's a hard pitch, Matt. I've never seen it as a batter in my life, but it just looks difficult.
Well, especially after you spent the first 5 innings seeing
True.
Fastballs and changing directions and pitch locations, and all you're getting is the little rainbow arc.
Katie Young to the plate, lays off the first pitch, drops right over the middle. And it's interesting, Seivert, every time she pitches, she runs at the plate to get the ball back. She's excited. 0-1. Young 0-2 today. Pitch popped up in the infield, first base side. Everly underneath it in foul territory. And Roane County quickly down to their final out. And that's a big deal for Seivert. You just took care of 2 of Roane County's best hitters back-to-back in the bottom of the 7th. Right now you're getting ready to see the best hitter today, though, Lacey Mitchell 3 for 3 with an RBI. Roane County needs base runners. First pitch. Ooh, gosh. Mitchell looking for home run number 3 on that swing. 0-1.
Yeah, it's a tough one. The location of that pitch, you want to try to swing it where the ball is going to be and not where it is when you see it.
Next pitch ripped, but right at the shortstop Beck, who backhands it over to first. And a 1-2-3, bottom of the 7th for Williamstown as they close it out here against the Lady Raiders. 6-3, your final score. Take a break for our sponsors. Come back, recap the ball game, have statistics, and you will see Starcher Auto Parts players of the game after this. We welcome you back inside the Lady Raiders softball complex. Final score here tonight. Roane County drops a tough one to a very tough opponent. We knew the 3-9 record could not be true after we looked at the schedule for Williamstown. We saw the infield being taken. We knew this was a good team. They've already defeated both Gilmer County and Ritchie County in conference, and they came to battle here tonight. This was a very high-level defensive game for both teams. There were 0 errors in this ball game for both sides, so it tells you just how difficult runs were to be had. Both pitching staffs did a great job. Keller went 4 1/3 innings, and she was taken out in that 5th inning with a couple of walks in a row. But her reliever, Lexi Seivert, although did not throw the ball hard, she threw some junk that Roane County just could not find a good, solid smash on. For Roane County, again, Mahaley Nicholson pitching very well. She also had 5 putouts in the field. So, again, both pitchers, both starters and the one reliever, pitched well, defended well themselves. Both defenses backed up their pitchers very, very well. It's just in the end, you look at the differences in hits, 8 for Williamstown, 6 for Roane County. The difference is 9 left on base for Roane County, 7 left on base for Williamstown, and it was just 1 per inning for Williamstown. Roane County had 4 straight innings where they left 2 on base and 1 that they left 3 on base. Those are tough numbers for the Lady Raiders. Again, just a battle, though. Very good ball game for both teams. Somebody had to lose it. Tonight it was Roane County's opportunity that they lost. 6-4 now, Roane County. Williamstown now 4-9. Let's take a look at the team statistics once again. For Williamstown, 6 runs on 8 base hits, 0 errors defensively for Roane County, left 7 on base. For Roane County, 3 runs on 6 hits, no errors defensively for Williamstown, and Roane County leaving 9 on base. For Roane County, Mahaley Nicholson takes a loss. She goes the full 7 innings, struck out 7, but she did walk 5 in this game. All 6 runs were earned. She did not hit a batter in this ball game. Keller gets the victory. She goes 4 1/3 innings of work. She struck out just 3 batters in this one. She also hit a couple of batters and walked 2. And she is responsible for all the runs scored as Seivert came in and worked the final 2 2/3 innings of work. Seivert gave up just 1 base hit in her 2 2/3 innings. Individually for Roane County offensively, it was a tough day for Roane County finding the holes in the defense. Piper Harlan goes 1 for 3 with 1 run scored. Carly Greathouse 0 for 4 on the day. Caden Steele 1 for 3 with an RBI, a run, and a walk. Mahaley Nicholson 0 for 3 with a run scored and a walk. Katie Young 0 for 3, hit by a pitch. Lacey Mitchell had the bat today, 3 for 4, 3 singles and an RBI. Michaela Bootright 1 for 2. She had an RBI and a walk. Fair Smelko goes 0 for 3, and Lexi Burdett 0 for 1. She was walked once and hit by a pitch. In this one, Matt, I think that Roane County defensively played very well, backing up Nicholson when the balls were hit in play. There were no errors, and on top of that, you think back to Boatwright's 2 or 3 plays, the up-the-middle shot that was taken away by Callie Williams, the play at first by Mitchell, the play in center field coming on. Not only was it good plays and routine plays, it was those kind of plays. It's just that Williamstown had enough of the bats brewing here that they hit it where Roane County wasn't.
Yeah, I think you summed it up best when you said the opportunities that Roane County left out there on the base paths. Williamstown didn't do that as nearly as much, and just got more timely hits. I think you've summed it up best. Both these teams came here prepared to play. The defenses played spectacular, and Williamstown was just able to make a couple extra plays that Roane County wasn't able to make. Capitalized on a couple of opportunities at the plate, and that's what you see is it was a very minuscule difference between the play of both of these teams, and unfortunately Williamstown was just able to make a couple of more plays throughout this ball game than Roane County was able to. And I thought, like you said, I thought our corners played spectacular in this game. Boatwright and Mitchell both. That's probably a little sneak peek of what's to come here later in this later at the end of this broadcast.
Yeah, I tell you, it was very good defense from both sides. I enjoyed watching that. It's good high-level softball action. Roane County now has dropped 3 straight, and I feel bad for the rest of the teams this week because I know how they respond to losing 3 in a row, and it's not going to be good for teams this week. And we'll talk about some of the next games here for Roane County. We'll talk about our next broadcast, and we'll wrap things up with the Player of the Game awards after this Willard C. Starcher Auto Parts message. we welcome you back to the Lady Raiders softball complex, wrapping things up here tonight. 6-3, Williamstown. The visitors come in and get a big road victory over Roane County. This is a high-level defensive game. Good pitching, good defense all around. It was just a little bit more Williamstown hitting than Roane County with the 6-3 victory. Roane County now 6-4, and again, they have dropped 3 straight. But they've got a lot of opportunities coming up the rest of the week, weather permitting. Before we talk about that, Matt White, time for you to give out a couple Player of the Game awards, sponsored by Willard C. Starcher Auto Parts.
Well, for me, it's going to be a split, but on both sides of the ball. Defensively and offensively, we're going with Lacey Mitchell and Michaela Boatwright. I think they were really just the catalyst in this game. Defensively, both of them made some spectacular plays, and offensively produced very well. Mitchell was 3 for 4 with an RBI, and then Boatwright was 1 for 2 with an RBI as well. So congratulations to those 2 young ladies, Lacey Mitchell and Michaela Boatwright, are Willard C. Starch Auto Parts players of the game on both offense and defense.
Yeah, spectacular today for both of them. Again, Lady Raiders going to be busy, assuming the weather holds up. They've got a doubleheader tomorrow on the road at Webster. They've got a doubleheader on Wednesday home versus Charleston Catholic, a single game on the road Thursday at Clay, and then a doubleheader on Saturday at Racine Southern. All of those on paper very, very winnable contests for the Lady Raiders, so they have a chance to reel off some victories after this 3-game slide. Here tonight. Our next sports broadcast, assuming the weather holds up, will be up on top of the hill at Leo Hines Memorial Field as Roane County will be in action tomorrow. And I can't even remember who they played. Who did they play? I forgot already. Let me look at it. I don't want to call the wrong thing, Matt. You know, I've done that before, and I make myself feel bad when I do. So Roane County's boys tomorrow
Charleston, no, that's tonight.
is Doddridge. Doddridge at home tomorrow at 5 p.m. is our next sports broadcast. Of course, we'll be on the air with pregame coverage about 4:45 p.m. That'll do it for us here tonight. Appreciate you joining us on WVRC 104.7 FM, WVRCFM.com, and, of course, on our Facebook Live feed. For our entire broadcast crew, George Allen, our studio technician back at WVRC Control, Katie Nutter, our camera person, Joe McDonald, once again. This is the only time we got you this week. We'll take what we can get from A&M Digital Technologies, graphics, instant replays, GIFs now, and, of course, the scoreboard. And Matt White, my color commentator, and Andrew Miller. Have a wonderful Monday night.